Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2019 mid-month general reading. Excuse me. I apologize ahead of time for any coughing I do during this video. I am just recovering from a bad bronchial thing. 'Tis the season around here. I'm actually over the part of feeling horrible. I actually feel pretty good, but I still have that residual cough, so I apologize for sounding like an asthmatic frog. Thanks for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers, and welcome to any returning people and subscribers. Thanks for those of you who follow my channel, and those of you who take the time to send in your support, comments, and feedback. Thanks to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for the consistent and constant personal readings. It's always a pleasure. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description bar below or the description bar attached to any of my videos, or you can click on the About button that you'll find on my YouTube channel's homepage. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie_McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time is pretty good too. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is the total of what I do, so I work pretty diligently with people's schedules. And I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life of all different types and lengths: love and romance, compatibility, career, work and finance, investment, gift readings, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life for a 6 or 12-month period, depending on how far ahead you want to look. So there's some options to choose from. So those of you who are interested, I look forward to hearing from you and working with you. I can usually respond to your initial email the same day or the first 24 hours. So on to this reading. This reading is for the fire sign of Aries, our beautiful Rams, for the remainder of February 2019. Those of you who are regular watchers know to watch your rising and moon sign videos as well, if you know them, for additional clarification. General readings are always going to resonate a little differently for everyone watching because there's so many people watching. All right, Aries. Let's take a look here at what the remainder of February has in store for you. Okay, Aries, we find ourselves around the middle of the month, third week or so, with the 5 of Swords, followed by the 8 of Cups. I like this energy. And in the last week or towards the end or so, timing always being fluid, we have the 6 of Wands, followed by the Page of Pentacles. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Hierophant. The reason I'm laughing at you, well, I'm not laughing at you. I mean, I am, but not in a bad way, is I feel like some of you got a clue and left something behind. I mean, I know with all the different astrological energies and astronomical events that have been happening, trying to bring cycles to a close, trying to make decisions on how to move ahead, leaving old things behind that don't serve us anymore, always a challenge and a struggle. But I think a lot of you Aries finally got through that struggle because you kind of got a clue or clued in on what it was actually going to take to achieve victory, and you let go of something. I feel like a lot of you that you were holding on to a lot for a long time because you thought it symbolized your freedom and independence, when it was actually, I think, the thing keeping you enslaved. Which is where we begin around the middle of the month or so with the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So the 5 of Swords is a hard-won victory. This is a victory that's come out of a very difficult battle, struggle, or challenge of some kind, and it has left its marks. This man has obviously been victorious over his enemies, opponents, or the challenge behind him. But he's tired, worn out, exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. This has been a difficult battle. Whatever it is that you've been trying to deal with, trying to move forward with, trying to let go of, I think this is the month that you are successful in that. Now, what clarifies it is the 8 of Cups, which is the walking away, leaving something behind. These tipped over, spilled out cups represent something which likely many of you were unhappy with, was disappointing, disillusioning, not quite fulfilling. You can see some of these goblets are upright and full, and some of them are tipped over and spilled out, implying that he or she was working their way through this, maybe thought it was going to be something else, figured maybe part of the way through, this isn't what I want. This really isn't what I want, even though maybe I thought it was what I wanted in the beginning. So he has made up his mind definitively to turn his back and leave. We know this because his back is turned to us. He's dressed for travel. He's got his hat on, his cloak on, his walking staff in his hand. You might not be entirely sure of what direction you're going in, but what you do know is that you need to turn your back, or have turned your back, on what these cups represent, these spilled over cups represent, and are moving on and forward. But it looks like it's been very difficult getting to this point. But I think it's because you finally, which the next two cards represent, you finally started coming to, which I think is where you end the month at, just starting to be, you're at the beginning of a path where you're starting to get a deeper understanding and awareness, as this page is, of what it actually takes to win here, what it actually takes to achieve victory and triumph and happiness and joy in your life, what it actually takes in a very practical, step-by-step, effort-by-effort way, because the Page of Pentacles is at the beginning of the path of understanding what it actually takes to make something work, what the stuff that maybe sometimes isn't so fun, the work. If it's a relationship, relationships can be passionate and have the warm and fuzzy feelings, but they also take work as time goes on. If it's in work, career, and finance, it's being at the beginning of the path, kind of like when you graduate college and you get into you start getting into the real adult life, and all of a sudden you kind of start getting a clue as to what it actually takes, rent and mortgage and bills and getting up and going to work every day and all of that kind of stuff, starting to gain a deeper understanding and awareness of what it actually takes to achieve this victory and triumph and success. You have these two great success cards here. Because you were able to leave something behind, and you left that behind, and you got an understanding of what it actually takes. I feel like you took a look, Aries, at what you were holding on to, and I feel like for a lot of you, what you were holding on to may have been somewhat illusionary, and I'm holding on to this phase of my life. I'm holding on to my sense of freedom and independence and free will and choice. But actually it was holding on to something that at a certain point kept you from moving forward into joy and fulfillment. If you were hanging on to perhaps the state of being single and dating around a lot, and you were very focused on not getting involved in a serious or committed long-term relationship, I think that at a certain point, and maybe it was because of difficulty within a relationship, maybe some of you finally started maybe understanding, if I really want to be happy in a relationship, instead of doing all of these things that I have been doing, this is what it's actually going to take. So you're leaving that ideology behind, that mindset, that lifestyle choice behind. It could be in career, work, and finance too, that you finally, maybe some of you realize that previously you may have looked at savings and being smart with money and economical and working a steady job. You may have looked at those, in fact, as things which inhibited your freedom. But doing it life a different way actually gives you nothing but instability and a lack of freedom, particularly financial freedom, which restricts your choices. And maybe some of you finally got an eye-opener on, actually by committing myself to these steps, that's actually how I'm going to work my way towards a sense of independence and freedom and true happiness. And the reason I say that is because the overall energy is the Hierophant. This is about walking the walk, talking the talk. This is the conventional path. This is the tried and true, and doing what so many people before you have done. Religions, organizations, institutions, dating, engagement, marriage, following the prescribed path for whatever area of your life that this is going to resonate on. And I think that a lot of you, it's been a long and difficult path for you to let go of something that was not serving you anymore. It may have served you well for a time, but for some time now it has been the thing actually stopping you from having what you want ultimately, even though you were saying, by holding on to this, this is what I'm getting. I mean, actually it's what's been keeping you enslaved or restricted. Let's pull a clarifier for this Eight of Cups. What is this that most of you are leaving behind that's been so difficult? The Page of Wands and the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups makes total sense. Both of these cards together could be like a textbook symbolization of the young person that likes to go out and party a lot. The young person who's just starting out full of fire, the fastest moving, the most spontaneous and impulsive, idealistic, immature, definitely not one to commit or stay in one place for too long. The wish fulfillment card, but it's also a card of decadent abundance and fulfillment, having everything that you want, but always, always the cautionary advice with the Nine of Cups is that saying, be careful what you wish for, you may get it and find it's not all it's meant to be, or at a certain point that chocolate cake may not end up tasting as sweet after you've been eating it all the time as it did in the very beginning, if that makes sense. So it looks like what the majority of you are leaving behind is maybe this idealistic way of thinking of not being responsible in some way, or not wanting to commit yourself to a specific path or mindset or belief system because you felt it would restrict you. And that may have been the case and the truth and reality of your life for some time, but for some time now it has not been, and I think a lot of you are waking up to that and making decisions to move forward in your life in a way that is actually leading to, it puts you in a place of victory and leads to your true abundance and stability. So Aries, that was a pretty interesting reading actually for our lovely, impulsive, spontaneous, fire-driven, beautiful Rams, our Aries. So I hope you find it helpful and useful, Aries, and that you continue to as the month continues to play itself out. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided by clicking on the description bar below or the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage. Instantgo is a great little smartphone or iPad app for fast answers to the quick, easy questions. So something else to consider if you don't want the traditional reading or it's just an easy, simple question. So something else for you to think about. Aries, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the March 2019 general readings. Until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.